The wind tore through the night. A child's cry echoed somewhere in the pitch-black desert, and then absolute silence. Only a pair of glowing red eyes watched you from the darkness. Don't look away, because if you missed this, you'll never understand why a beautiful queen became the darkest nightmare of ancient Greece, and why her eyes never close. From the cries echoing in the night, turn back time to ancient Libya, where this story began. Lamia was once the queen of Libya, famed not only for her radiant beauty, but also her sharp intellect. That perfection reached Olympus itself, capturing the heart of Zeus, king of the gods. This forbidden love set the tragedy in motion. That love seemed blessed, but on Olympus, every forbidden desire carries a price. But Lamia's happiness lasted only a fleeting moment. On Olympus, whispers of this forbidden love spread through the halls, and from the highest reaches of the sky, a jealous gaze followed her every step, and from the highest heavens that wrath bore the name Hera, wife of Zeus, a goddess infamous for jealousy and cruelty. Upon discovering this affair, she unleashed her fury upon Lamia, stealing her children and cursing her eyes never to close, forcing her to witness that pain. Night after night, that curse did more than take her children, it twisted her form forever. Darkness swallowed the queen's figure, flesh scraped against stone, a serpent's tongue hissed across the sand. Lamia was now half woman, half snake, her upper body still breathtaking to lure prey, her lower body a massive tail, leaving winding tracks in the sand as she moved. Red eyes, never closing, scanned the night, reflecting endless hatred. Yet this transformation granted her a terrifying gift. The night itself became her hunting ground. Lamia possessed no divine combat powers like Medusa or Typhon. What made her fearsome was her ability to hide and hunt in the dark, a crying child as bait, luring frantic parents outside. Cursed eyes, seeing through the night, tracking every shallow breath, and grief turned to bloodlust. Lamia hunted children, not out of hunger, but to fill the void her own had left behind. From a revered queen, she became a phantom that made an entire land tremble. And from that form, whispers began spreading across the land, from lavish palaces to humble huts along the desert. From then on, the name Lamia was no longer of a queen, but a whisper carried on the wind. They say each nightfall, amid the howling wind between rocks, that fear stirs awake, and no one knows whose turn it is tonight. Children hold their breath beneath blankets, adults bolt their doors, and every light in the village goes out earlier than usual, as if everyone knows what's coming. And then, in the darkness, the fear named Lamia begins to take shape. A moonless night, desert winds shrieking through the rocks, blending with a faint sound, a child's cry, a mother jolts awake, the wooden door bursts open, the blanket falls to the floor, empty. Outside, a winding trail leads to the dunes. The crying fades, then silence, only the wind, and glowing red eyes in the dark. Then that fear spread beyond Lamia herself. It swept across Libya. Villagers whispered to each other. When the cry blends with the wind, Lamia is closer than you think. No roar, no pounding footsteps, only the rustle of sand and a ragged breath. Lamia closes in, swift, precise, leaving no chance to escape. But those whispers were only the surface. The truth was far more horrific, hidden behind eyes that never closed. But what terrified people most wasn't just how she hunted, but the horrific secret behind those ever-open eyes. Some folk tales say, to escape her memories, Lamia once tore out her own eyes, but each dusk, they grew back, glowing brighter, hungrier. Other tales claim she hid them in a stone jar. Anyone who opened it saw those red eyes pierce into their soul. And when she hunted, Lamia would place them back in her sockets, and in an instant, she could see through the night, finding her next child. That terror didn't stop in Libya. As the myth spread into Greece, people passed down herb charms to cover children's eyes while they slept, believing that if Lamia couldn't see them, she would move on. But no one knew if the charms truly worked, or if it was only desperate hope. Night after night, The wind howled, cries rang out, and trails in the sand vanished into nothing, and no one dared step outside. Night after night, that cry returned, and fear quietly grew within every home, as if even time could not erase the curse. No hero ever slew Lamia, no tale of triumph exists, only a fear passed down through generations. Don't go out after dark. Lamia waits outside the window. Her name became a warning to children. But for those who believe in myth, it isn't just a bedtime story, it's a real warning. The night wind still howls outside, and somewhere a child's cry echoes again. If Lamia's story sent chills down your spine, light a small flame in the night, a like, comment, or a subscribe, to guide us deeper into the next darkness.